Hi, I'm Jamin Coller, and I'd like to talk to you about concert reviews. Now, in most good music classes, the teacher is going to require that students go to concerts, usually like classical or jazz concerts, and write some kind of review on them. And this is a practice that I encourage my students to do, is go to a concert, especially that's outside of your own favorite genre. So if you really love classical music, not going to a classical music concert would probably be good. You know, maybe going to a jazz concert or something like that. And really, there's three things that you should pay attention to when you're going to a concert that's not in your favorite genre. The first one is probably the most obvious, paying attention to the music itself. So, you know, are there a lot of songs in minor keys? Are there a lot of songs in major keys? You know, what kind of chord progressions they use, things like that is something you want to pay attention to. But there's two other things that often get ignored in the concert reviews that I read frequently, and I'd like to talk to you about those two. So when you're at the concert, after you've kind of paid attention to what the music is, it's a good thing to take a step back and take a look at the music as, I call it ceremony. Take a look at, for example, the venue that's chosen. Venues for like rock concerts, any kind of heavy rock or metal concert is going to be probably much different than at a classical concert or at a jazz concert. So taking a look at the environment and saying, how does this thing speak about the music that's happening? So I've given you a list of example things to look for in ceremony, but that's the first thing, is kind of taking a step back and looking at the music as ceremony, or as the event, I guess, that's taking place. So the next thing to do is take a step back even farther from that, not just taking a look at, you know, the colors and the venue and things like that make up the event itself, but take a look at what makes up the culture, because the majority of the people who are at the concert are most likely not there to write a concert review like you are. So you want to take a look at them and say, what do these people have in common? They obviously have this music in common. They all like this same genre of music. And what is it about them that kind of brings them together, that makes them like this music? Not only taking a look at the audience, but taking a look at the performers. You know, oftentimes you'll notice the audience dresses much like the performers. So if the performers are all dressed up in tuxedos and stuff, most likely you're at a certain kind of concert where the audience also dresses up very nicely versus other concerts. So take a look at the entire culture, especially pay attention to, like, at the intermissions, go out and just hang out in the lobby and listen to the interactions, the way that those people talk about the music, because the way they talk about the music is much more important than the way you talk about the music. You talk about the music like an outsider. They talk about the music like an insider. So perhaps this concert that you don't really particularly like, or that's not your favorite genre, maybe you'll have a little bit more insight into something about the music and why it's appealing to those people if you take a look at it from their perspective and the perspective of the performers, and looking at those three things, really, not just the music, but also the ceremony and also the culture. I think if you do that a few times, you'll have an insight into a culture and find a new appreciation for a style of music that you might not have necessarily liked so much before. Well, that's it. Good luck. Have fun.